Well, thanks for joining us. You're watching Welcome Home, and I'm Rachel Holder with Compass Real Estate. Well, if you've lived in Nashville for any length of time at all, chances are you've been to a concert and picked up a Hatch show print. There's so much more behind these colorful posters and meets the eye, including a century-old history in the heart of Nashville. I recently caught up with the print shop manager to learn all about the history, the gallery, and how you can have a piece of Nashville history for your home. Well, I'm sitting here with Selene Aubrey, who I just learned is the very first female print shop manager ever at Hatch Show Prints. So thank you for sitting down with me.
Thanks for coming to visit us.
I'm so excited to be here. I thought I was coming to talk about the art, which we are, but I want to start with the history, because I think for anybody that lives in Middle Tennessee, the history of this place and what you do and the art that you make is so important to know. You guys have been around for
140 years. We'll be 141 in April.
In Nashville.
In Nashville the whole time. Founded by two brothers, Charles and Herbert, who opened the shop in 1879. Probably up closer to the courthouse where all the news was coming out, but they opened up there and moved into numerous locations, but we're now in our 6th location here in the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum on 5th Avenue, right across the street from the Convention Center. We've been making the shop opened in 1879, and from what we can tell right out the gate, practically they were making large format advertising, and I'm talking billboards that would have been 60 feet wide by 20 feet tall, to advertising art that was about 12 feet wide by 18 feet tall, to be pasted on the sides of buildings, barns, and things like that, advertising anything ranging from live entertainment that was coming through your town to local products, local businesses, Duck brand overalls, H.G. Hill's grocery store, coffee made here in Nashville.
It's incredible to think about, one of my favorites.
Yes.
It's incredible to think about just the scale of that everything was done by hand, right? Hand lettering. So take me a little bit through the process, I guess, because it hasn't changed much in 140 years, right?
No, not for us. Printing, of course, has moved on into the technology of digital printing, but at Hatch, the type that we use on the posters that we make today is the same type that was used. Some of it was used on what we call the first poster, Dodger, that the brothers made in 1879. We still have some of that original type. And so we use the same wood and metal type. We don't really add to that collection of type because we don't want to water down what it looks like, because it's very strong, bold poster.
You have a look, and people love your look,
it's easy to read, exactly. Where we mix it up and have through the history of the shop is through the imagery, and it started as hand-carved imagery, and then we do photo plates, and we did photo plates. That's a technology that was hip and happening around World War II and right after World War II, and so it was that era's version of Instagram or getting your image out there in a really cool way. And so we've used that. But in the 21st century, we've gone back to doing a lot more carving, much like what they did in the early years of the shop in the first half of the 20th century, committing either people's faces or graphic elements or other images that speak to an artist's story when we're making a poster for an artist.
So I understand that Hatch Show Print has an art gallery inside the Country Music Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about how that came about.
Sure. One of the benefits of being under the same roof as the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum was we had the opportunity to sort of blow out our little print shop on Broadway into more spaces, and one of the things that we have more space for is the art that we get to show off. And for us, the art are the prints that we get to make from these beautiful blocks that Will T. Hatch and his staff carved in the first half of the 20th century. Advertising originally, but because they have endured and because they speak to not only the aesthetic that Nashville has, if you were to give Nashville a blanket aesthetic, but also speaks to the origins of commercial art and how the whole country looked at itself, on the walls, on the billboards, in the windows, on the window cards and advertisements. And so now we reprint them, and they've become affordable art and accessible art that speak to Americana culture, and are vibrant and colorful and a great accent to your wall in your new space. And they start at $50. It's not ridiculously outpriced, because we don't want people to be afraid of coming in and playing with color on their walls and enjoying something that is truly Nashville, born here, created here, and living on here in the 21st century.
In addition to purchasing prints in the gallery, Hatch Show Print hosts regular date night and family nights where you can make a keepsake print yourself. Find out more at hatchshowprint.com. Well, up next, Miss Tennessee is here in the studio talking about a special kind of space that's near and dear to her heart. Stay tuned.